Minister of Health is reminding the community to continue health and safety measures. Friends in Martin to benefit from the Convergence Contract of Transformation. But first up, Council of Ministers meets with the Waiklu to clarify the cost-cutting conditions. Those are the headlines for Friday, June the 26th, 2020. This is SXM Daily News. I'm Valerie Van Putten, thanking you so much for joining me. We have a packed newscast for you this evening, so let's get started. In our first story, Prime Minister Ms. Sylvia Jacobs called for an urgent meeting with the Council of Ministers and the Windward Islands Collective Labor Union, the Waiklu, on Thursday, June the 25th, 2020. The meeting was requested to provide clarity and answer any outstanding questions to the unions. This meeting also served to inform the Council of Ministers regarding the ongoing manifestations in order to ensure collaboration in the interest of all the people of St. Martin. President of the Waiklu, Mrs. Clay Elshot, briefed our newsroom about said meeting.
That we want to bring to the attention of the Council of Ministers based on the status of the workers on St. Martin. In the meantime, we also want to have a consensus in these discussions on these points. So far, no consensus has been reached. And also, to tell you in short, there are a number of issues that have been brought forward in addition. And we also have had a separate meeting with the Minister of VSR after points. The first discussion, the points that was brought up was identified as labor-related issues. So our first meeting being June the 9th, we had a meeting with the Minister of ASR and a whole delegation of the Department of Labor was also present. And a number of issues that was brought up are things that have to be further discussed and worked on. So we are looking forward as unions for a memorandum of understanding where we can put these points again together and basically have them discuss and get a consensus on the way forward with these points. Some of the points would require amendments to existing legislations. Some would probably require a total of, a total legislation to be put in place, and that would have to go through the parliament, etc., new legislations. But that is the job of our government. They would have to come as ministers with initiative laws to be able to protect the workers in this type of, in this time, because we feel as unions that every time there's either a hurricane or in this case now we have the pandemic, that persons and employers would use the opportunity to be able to violate and also to abuse workers' rights, rights that have been laid down in ILO Convention. And now we even have a new form of violation where someone on the other side of the Atlantic that should be our state secretary and that should understand that this COVID-19 is not the time to use this pandemic to come with cost-cutting measures, but pardon me, but now we are seeing that this person with these demands are putting the knee in the neck of the Council of Ministers in St. Martin, Aruba, and Curacao, and therefore it is also being applied to the workers. The knee in the neck story, it means that you can't breathe, and you notice I probably got some symptoms from that. But you can't breathe when these are like that. So therefore, this discussion and these meetings with Parliament and COM is not going to just stop there. We as Windward Island Chamber of Labor Unions, we will continue pressing on and pressing forward until we can reach the necessary consensus, legislation, and protection of the workers.
And President of the SMCU, the St. Martin Communications Union, Luton Averts, in reaction to the cost-cutting measures, says that the government is trampling on their human rights. The president said that they are standing firm and is in solidarity in the struggle with the other unions.
Also in solidarity in the struggle against this 12.5% cost-cutting measures that's on the table. We are against all the conditions that has been put in on St. Martin, where it's trampling on the human rights and the disrespecting of the laws of the country, where the laws protect the people of this island. So we're standing firm that we believe that these conditions should be off the table and respect the country of St. Martin and treat St. Martin as equal as the rest partners in the kingdom is being treated. Okay, so by this, SMCU stands strong with the anti-poverty platform in this matter, and along with the white glue in this matter.
And now in news out of the Netherlands, in a reaction to the rioting that is happening in Curaçao, the Dutch State Secretary of Home Affairs and Kingdom Relations, Raymond Knop, said on Thursday that it is very serious what is happening there. The Dutch conditions that are attached to the liquidity support for the Dutch Caribbean countries during the coronavirus pandemic will remain in place. Knop said on Dutch national TV that there were conditions for humanitarian assistance, such as the food parcels that thousands of people now depend on, but that there are conditions for the loans to the governments. We are asking, for example, to bring the pensionable age to a similar level as in the Netherlands and to reduce the salaries of government personnel and high semi-government officials. And when you speak of solidarity, you also need to ensure as a government that the vulnerable groups in society have sufficient income as well, stated Knops. As Dutch government, we have stated that we will provide assistance, and millions have been made available to help those that need it most. We are not abandoning those people. At the same time, we expect from the governments of the countries that they implement reforms. The islands have to stop spending structurally more than they receive, Knops told NOS TV. And still to come, Minister of Culture is preparing for Emancipation Day 2020. We'll have the details to that and much more when SXM Daily News returns.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
And in other news for you at this time, Minister of Health and Labor, Richard Panafleck, speaking at the Council of Ministers virtual press briefing, is reminding the community of the health safety measures in regard to our health safety. The minister said that since we are COVID-free at this time, it is important that we maintain the safety guidelines. It is for our own health and safety. The minister also announced on Wednesday last at the weekly press briefing that the draft law of ROV has been sent to the Council of Advice for their advice. The law has to do with the raising of the pension age from 62 to 65 years.
As we are currently on zero active COVID-19 cases, I would like to request the general public to continue to keep the measures that we had been taken since the beginning, meaning keeping your social distance, practice proper coughing and sneezing etiquette, wash and sanitize your hands regularly, and wear your mask when you are in public places. I would like to request everyone to continue to you have to maintain the necessary requirements. It's for your own safety and health. So the mere fact that government is saying that we are going in phases which we are more open, that don't mean that you have to leave your guard down. But on the contrary, you have to keep it up so that we can keep your health and the entire St. Martin health safe. Furthermore, the preparations are being done so that we can open back the borders from the health side. The necessary preparations are taking place. The COM will decide, and once that is approved, we will make it known to the general public and for all to know what all are the requirements that one have to follow going to the airport, be in the vicinity in the airport, or traveling through the airport and coming back in. Furthermore, I would like to inform the general public that a draft law ROV, that is the pension funds of SZV, has been sent to the Council of Advice for their advice, whereas afterwards, if there's any the necessary adaptations will be done so that it can be offered to Parliament for the enforcing and dealing with it so that it can become law. It will basically have to do with the raise of the pension age from 62 to 65, and this seeing that the people are living longer, thank God for that, and that they will be able to work longer also, and that the funds could then be carried for a long period of time. I have to say there are some increases of the payment, but the further details will be dealt with once the law comes out and is being dealt with in Parliament. I would like to continue to emphasize on one and all to maintain and keep the required social distancing, keeping themselves safe, sanitize their hands, and when you're feeling sick, don't come out, call your physician, indicate what you're feeling, take care of yourself and your loved ones, and take care of the community of St. Martin in general.
And also speaking at the Council of Ministers virtual press briefing on Wednesday last, Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, the Honorable Rodolphe Samuel, congratulated the exam students of the Milton Peters College and the Sundial School for a job well done. The minister also gave an outline of the plans being prepared for the celebration of Emancipation Day, which falls on July the 1st.
The students of the Milton Peters College and the Sundial School have done very well on their exams. And for this, I would like to say congratulations to them. I know some time back they were concerned whether or not they had sufficient time in order to do the exams. But today they can see that they have done it on their own strength with the time that was allotted to them. And for this, I would say to them an extra congratulations. Yes, we have other students who are resitting some exams, some tests, and to those I would also like to say success. And in the end, we will see all the results that have come in, and then we will move forward. So congratulations to those who have already had their final exams, and success to those who still have to do a few resits. On July 1st, this year, 2020, we all know it will be Emancipation Day. The ministry, in collaboration most naturally with the Department of Culture, is busy having discussions on what the day would be. We know we have to deal with the new normal that has to do with the virus, but we will come up with a very, very nice program that will be fitting for commemorating our Emancipation Day. I would like to take this opportunity at this moment to remind the people of St. Martin that we want the economy of St. Martin to come back. We want the economy of St. Martin to be strong. And in one way, the people can contribute in doing this is to adhering to the measures of keeping social distance, the measures of continue to sanitize, wash your hands, and the measures that will indicate to wear your mask. We want the economy of St. Martin to open. We need the economy of St. Martin to open. And we can keep the economy of St. Martin open if all of us on St. Martin, including our visitors, keep the responsibility at our own. So when we are responsible and we behave responsible, we can keep St. Martin virus free, and our economy can come back and be what it is and what it's supposed to be. So I'm just reminding the public at large that we are happy that St. Martin is where St. Martin is at this moment, but that we must continue to be vigilant and help us all to keep St. Martin virus free.
Now, turning to our weather forecast for June the 26th, 2020. Another surge of Saharan dust is expected to reach the Eastern Caribbean today through the next couple of days. Persons with allergies and or respiratory illnesses should continue to take the necessary precautions. While the Atlantic high pressure system maintains an easterly yet brisk wind flow across the region, a small craft advisory remains in effect for St. Martin, as seas are expected to peak near 9 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers should continue to exercise caution. And the outlook through Sunday midday, partly cloudy, hazy, and breezy with a passing shower possible. Now, let's turn to your 3-day forecast. And still to come, French St. Martin to benefit from the convergence contract of transformation. And I'll have the details to that story when SXM Daily News returns.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
And as we end this edition of SXM Daily News for this evening, this item out of French St. Martin. A constructive ministerial visit was held recently on French St. Martin for French residents. President of the Collectivité of French St. Martin, Mr. Daniel Gibbs, met with the Minister for Overseas France, Mrs. Annick Girardin, who made her 6th official trip to St. Martin in order to sign the Convergence Contract of Transformation, the CCT, for 2019 through 2022, and also to restore the Lacroix report on the PPRN. First Vice President of the Collectivité, Valérie Damasso, elaborated for reporters.
The report of the commission headed by the Préfet, M. Lacroix, was given by the Minister of Overseas Territories, Madame Annick Girardin, whom had commissioned this mission at the peak of the Natural Disasters Prevention Plan crisis at the end of 2019. Préfet Lacroix's report is clear, and its recommendations validate the unanimous opinion of the collectivité and the population regarding the poor workmanship updated in the Natural Disaster Prevention Plan in advance and the need to prepare a document better adapted to the reality of St. Martin. We will finally be able to proceed to developing a new Natural Disaster Prevention Plan project, which will be a production of proper discussions and consultations, adapted and respectful of our identity and our territory. We would like for this step to be constructive and effective, as many of the projects we wish to achieve depend on this new Natural Disaster Prevention Plan. The Minister requested that the local state representative work in close collaboration with the collectivité to ensure that the new Natural Disaster Prevention Plan takes into consideration the 7 recommendations and be produced by the end of this year. As a reminder, these recommendations consist of the following. 1. To authorize the reconstruction of property damaged by the hurricane located in the dark red zone on the condition that a significant reduction in vulnerability is provided and certified by an architect when applying for a building permit. 2. Clearly confirm the absence of a systematic compliance obligation. 3. Simplify the prescriptions and favor an objective of results over an obligation of means. 4. Have the Natural Disaster Prevention Plan focus solely on risk prevention, however, removing from it the condition that requires that the regularity of the pre-existing construction be proven before authorizing reconstruction. 5. Adjust the Natural Disaster Prevention Plan project both on the regulations and the zoning. 6. Temporarily or at least strengthen the resources of the Environment, Urban Planning Construction Directorate of St. Martin to allow close collaboration between the state and the collectivité during the first months of implementation of the Natural Disaster Prevention Plan. 7. Allow the collectivité of St. Martin to finalize the settlement of the land issue by signing the last transfer agreements for the 50 geometric zone between the state and the collectivité. We are confident that things will move forward and to our advantage. The content of the report represents a considerable advantage for St. Martin and its population because it responds to a strong expectation for our fellow citizens and the collectivité who have been fighting to be heard and considered since July 2019. As the President said Monday at the press conference with the Minister, and I quote, "This subject has sparked a lot of questions, misunderstandings, and tension. Great concerns and suffering which could have and should have been avoided. The haste of the local representation of the state to produce a decree to set up an early, rigid, and above-ground natural disaster prevention plan, disregarding the voice and warning of the local government representatives, is what led to a great social unease. We must now turn the page and move forward and the elaboration of this new natural disaster prevention plan. Rest assured, the collectivité will be fully committed to working alongside the state services on the improvement of the Natural Disaster Prevention Plan project. Lastly, we cannot conclude without stating the following. Our mandate has not been spared. Hurricane Irma, the strikes, the natural disasters prevention plan crisis, the COVID, the collectivité has had to bear tensions, but we are still standing and we are more than ever determined to continue our efforts for St. Martin.
And with that, viewers, it brings us to the end of this edition of SXM Daily News for this evening. I am Valerie Van Putten, thanking you for joining me. And just a reminder that this and other programs are available online. Simply log on to stmartinmediacenter.com for viewing. And on behalf of the SXM Daily News team, we thank you again for watching and plan on meeting you right back here again on Monday.